Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy, and today I want to talk a little bit about foot hygiene and how to keep your feet clean and safe from infections, fungal infections, and other things that you can catch in gyms, showers, steams, and saunas. Now I'm on a cruise ship right now, the Princess cruise ship, and I'm on my way back to Los Angeles from a cruise with my parents for about 8 days. And I remember an experience I had about 20 years ago on one of these cruise ships. I got into the steam room barefooted, and I was sitting in there, and a podiatrist came into the room, which was really cool. We started talking for about an hour. It was really interesting. He taught me a lot. And one of the things he said was, hey, why are you standing in here barefooted? And I thought, well, why not? What's the problem? And he went into this really in-depth conversation, which I really appreciate, because this is just some random doctor I ran into, and he shared something with me that I've shared hundreds of times to many, many patients. And this was one of those situations where, sometimes people talk to you and you're either listening or you're hearing. Hearing is you can hear, my hearing works, or listening is you're processing. You're like, oh, this guy's right. Let me put this into practice. I definitely listened to this guy, because about a year later, I coincidentally happened to get a fungus on my nail, and it was nasty. My nail turned black and it started getting really thick. And, I'm a single guy, I was dating, and it wasn't cool. You walk around barefoot in front of a girl and they're not gonna like that. They're gonna think, oh man, is this guy gonna infect me or what? And then I do martial arts. So I would go to my judo or my karate practice or one of the other martial arts I practice. And most of the time you're barefooted, and people look at it and they go, dude, you gotta put a sock on. And we use these anti-fungal creams when there's an outbreak of something. They had me put the foam on my foot and wear a sock to practice. It looked nasty. Sometimes your feet end up on people's face. Imagine that black nail rubbing against your cheek. That's not fun. So I tried desperately to get rid of it. I went to a podiatrist for like 2 years. They gave me all sorts of different medications. None of them worked. And a lot of them are pretty toxic. They're not good for your liver. They're not good for your body. How did I get rid of it? Well, I was backpacking in Peru, and I ended up in Lake Titicaca, the highest altitude navigable lake in the world. And I was crossing into Bolivia, and I saw like a naturopath or some kind of like a shaman guy from the jungle, from the Amazon. And he started showing me these before and after pictures. They're very impactful. They were about 2 feet by 2 feet. And they had pictures before, and it had nails way worse than mine, black and all disfigured and overgrown. And then after, where they're totally nice and perfect. And I said, okay, sure. I bought this herbal supplement he had for a couple dollars, and man, it got rid of my black nail in about a week. And I saved that label for years. I thought, I gotta bring this to the US, but I never got around to it. I couldn't figure out how to get in contact with the manufacturer. So a couple things. First, it's better to avoid all this. Just wear sandals. Anytime I travel, I always bring sandals. It's like one of the first things I put into my bags. Hostels, hotels, gyms, anytime I go to a gym anywhere, steam rooms, saunas, any kind of a shared space like that, I never go in barefoot. I'd rather not go in. And it surprises me because I'm here on the cruise ship and I see people every day walking around in the showers, in the steam room, the sauna, barefoot. And in Los Angeles, where I live, in the gyms, I see it every day. And every time I look at them, I think about my experience and about that podiatrist. And it just reminds me, like, maybe a lot of people are not real aware of the risk they're running walking around barefooted. It's just too much trouble. Now, if you think about it, think about your foot. If you catch some type of fungus, your feet are tight together like these fingers. So they sweat on each other. There's a lot of moisture. Then you put a sock on that's more moisture and more heat, and then you put it in a shoe, more moisture, more heat, and then you walk around, so it sweats. So that causes you to get more moisture, more fungal growth. So if you happen to catch something at the gym or on the cruise ship, you're basically putting it into a greenhouse in your shoe. Your shoe's like a greenhouse. It's an ideal situation for things to grow on your nails, on your foot. You end up with foot odor, you end up with fungus on your skin, on your nails. So a couple things is, one, of course, the sandals. But the second thing is, I recommend, I practice on a regular basis, just walking around barefooted, not in wet and warm places, but just outside in your house, in the garden. It's good. You're doing grounding, and like I mentioned before, it helps build up strength in your feet, so it's good for your hips, your knees, and your back. Remember, your feet are kind of like your foundation. So if you're wearing shoes all the time, the muscles in your feet are going to be weaker. And that, in modern day society, is what causes a lot of people to have hip, knee, and back problems, weak feet. It's like a weak foundation in a house, so then the whole house is shaky. So by walking around barefooted, not in wet places, your feet are stronger. But it also allows your feet to breathe, the sun to hit your feet, to dry them out, to keep them nice and clean and aired. And it kills fungus need to grow in warm and dark, wet places. And walking around barefooted is the opposite of that. So it's gonna help destroy that stuff. It helps maintain your feet. Now, I'm not saying go to the sauna barefoot, then walk around barefoot outside. No, because some of this stuff is pretty strong that you can catch in gyms, in showers and stuff, that it won't die that easily. So it's better just to wear sandals. So just to break it down a little bit, just think about it. Anytime you go to a sauna, a steam room, a shower, they're hot, humid areas. It's already kind of like a greenhouse situation. So funguses and other viruses and things, bacteria, they like that. They'll grow in there. So when you walk in there barefooted, they stick to your feet, or you pass them onto the environment, and they start growing. So throughout the day, let's say they're not cleaned, or maybe they don't clean it that night, someone else walks on it and they catch it. So if you happen to be the unlucky person that walks on it, it's gonna spread to your feet, and then you're gonna go place your feet again into your socks and then into your shoes, and then you're gonna walk around. It's gonna get moist in there. It's gonna be perfect growing situation. It's like a greenhouse. So you just wanna avoid all that stuff, and that's what you're doing when you wear sandals, and then walking barefooted in dry areas. Okay, so from Princess Cruise Lines, I'm in the gym and I'm about to work at about 4 in the morning. This is Dr. Ernesto. Thank you. Goodbye.